Hi, Maxim. Thanks very much for taking part in the Business Spotlight series. As
Hi,
always,
thanks for
no, that's all. I'm going to hand it over to you to introduce yourself and what you do.
hi, my name is Maxim and I'm better known as Mr. Stroodles, the founder of Stroodles Eco Tableware. I don't have a real name. No, I'm joking, like it's Maxim, but a lot of general managers just know me by Mr. Stroodles. And so I basically trying to reshape and rewire sustainability communication by giving people tangible options and solutions and alternatives to plastic, such as edible pasta straws, edible spoons, cups, plates, and bowls. So basically, you can go get drunk but do it sustainably. You can go eat your meal, do it sustainably. So it's about kind of showing people how easy and fun sustainability can be, and that it doesn't need to be that big doom and gloom as we know it with lots of buzzwords. So it's about having fun with sustainability and then basically planting those touch points in people's heads so that they can actually then see how easy it can be, and maybe then 2, 3, 5 years from now then make something will change and leave an impact. But yeah, it's all about having fun with sustainability.
Brilliant. And how long have you been doing that for?
It's a good 4 and a bit years now, but then in the beginning it was mainly just the pasta straws. So I think for the first 2.5 years, then obviously COVID hit, and then we slowly introduced all the other products: cups, spoons, plates, and bowls. And then literally, I think on Tuesday we launched in Selfridges some eco activity kits. So kind of like trying to get rid of plastic and kids, presents slash party bags. So it's constantly now evolving, but yeah.
Superb. And look, you obviously you mentioned COVID there. What was the impact of COVID on the business?
So it's more like logistics first of all, but I guess that's a smaller problem because the post was still running. It was more, I guess, the hospitality side of it, because obviously, like before COVID, I was obviously selling to hospitality as well as in retail, i.e., hospitality being restaurants, bars, whatever events, and then retail being website and like physical shops. So obviously, that whole hospitality side was dead. And so the focus had to be on retail, but again, it's a little bit of a blessing in disguise. So that obviously allowed me to then focus on retail more, hence the branding. Well, I used the time to redesign the packaging and all those things. So again, it was a blessing in disguise. It's kind of like COVID dictated the priorities, which is looking back at it, it's a good thing. But obviously, yeah, I probably lost the exact 2 years. So I'm kind of like, probably last summer I was where I should have been 2 years ago before that, with like all the traction and everything.
Sure. And in terms of the situation now, you still focusing more then on retail? Has that become the bigger part of the business, or?
So yes, it has, but then so retail is obviously the one for the brand building, but it's not volume as you can imagine. So we're unfortunately not listed yet with like the Waitrose of that. But then again, even the Waitrose is not comparable to volume on like, let's say, a big event or stadium. So the focus is still more on like kind of like the more restaurant hospitality customer in general. But then yeah, I'm still pushing retail, and it's more like the products with like more products being developed and stuff. But it's kind of retail is just like dragging along. It's at the moment, unfortunately, I'm more focused on hospitality. But I guess once a big multiple, i.e., supermarket hits, then kind of like the focus will go back. It's just I'm a little bit neglecting the whatever £10 sale on e-commerce at the moment.
Sure. And in terms of the growth plans for the company, where would you like it to be in the next 5 years?
Sorry, I'm back again. Well, no, so the idea is like to basically, because I'm building a new category, like of that edible, sustainable tableware. So, but then beyond that, so I'm not building a product business, I'm building a brand and sustainability with the little character that I have, the Mr. Stroodles character. So I'm actually building a licensing business. So in terms of like, where want I be in 5 years, like in the supermarket, let's say like Waitrose, I want to see Mr. Stroodles approved products all over the place. So kind of like either like a full category with like, this is the sustainable products. So Mr. Stroodles should be all over the place. So let's say when you walk, as I'm in London, let's say when you walk from London Zoo to Selfridges, you should see products in the ice cream van, and you walk past the furniture store, maybe there's like bamboo chairs kind of approved by Stroodles to in Selfridges to buy the product. So it's just like more presence of the brand as well as the products, not necessarily my products, but also just brand approved products. and obviously wider range, and then a very wide hospitality adoption that obviously it almost becomes like you're losing out if you're not strudling.
Excellent. I like it, not strudling. And then other side of that, so what are the challenges for the business growing?
The usual fun, like logistics especially, and sales. I mean, it's I guess it's a typical growth chicken and egg, kind of like a big customer like desire and everything. So but yeah, it's like the usual kind of like roller coaster journey of start, obviously like managing kind of balance between the resources you have to obviously trying to grow. So it's the usual. I mean, nothing. Well, it's just you learn to deal with it. I mean, before I get upset when something doesn't get delivered. Now it's just like, okay, whatever. Just again, it will you just learn to deal with those challenges a little bit. Well, not even differently. You just learn to deal with them. Full stop. So because I mean, you obviously can like look back at 4 years. There was much more severe stuff, or what I thought was severe. Everything gets solved eventually. So you just learn to deal with it all.
Excellent. No, that would bring me on to my next
You
question.
choose your battles, basically. Let's put it that way. You just choose your battles. I mean, even like today, I was getting like a stupid example. I was getting a cab, and like with lots of boxes. So I'm like, okay, let's just get the bigger cab. Yes, it's more expensive, but I'm not in the mood for discussing with the cab driver how many boxes I have and how it's going to ruin this journey. So just pick your battles.
Indeed. I was just about to ask you what's been your biggest learning as a business owner. Would it be that, or is there something else that comes out?
So yeah, that for sure as well. You just pick your battles, but then also I guess like outsourcing as quickly as possible. I guess I had a preconception that like an outsourced warehouse is expensive, or like outsourcing even co-packing. So I probably would have definitely done that before, or like much earlier than I have. Well, again, let's assume COVID wouldn't have been there. But then the other thing is probably, again, because on some of the new businesses that I'm doing, obviously, like I'm with someone, like the kids stuff I'm doing with someone, the certification we launched with someone. So I guess like going forward, but again, let's see, like I guess like probably having some form of co-founder. That's, I mean, yeah, it's not, it was nice to make my own, or like, it's still nice to make my own decisions, but I mean, kind of like 3 years into it, it's more like you wish you have someone who cares to the extent of just a co-founder kind of like thing. So
great, thank you. And then what is it that inspires you?
I guess it's the roller coaster. Like, I mean, that's why it's like it's a little masochistic, but like it's basically like the roller coaster journey of the whole kind of up and down. Because obviously, like the same moment, let's say, bring that logistics example. There's something that messed up there. 2 minutes later, you get an email, and then like obviously, I get a lot of like to work with a lot of kids, because obviously kids love the product as well. So it's obviously very, very rewarding because they're a little bit more honest. I mean, we're doing an event in the school. They come hug your leg and say how you're the best person in the world because they just had their lunch served and with a chocolate spoon and a bowl. So it's I guess that's why, because I mean, you get obviously like I'm doing, it's not just a normal commercial business selling toothbrushes or something. Sorry, it's obviously like leaving an impact and obviously like getting those. That's why I mean I even do events, even though commercially they might not make sense, or like sampling sessions, but like just like to get that energy back from like the people, because I mean I'm doing another sampling in Selfridges on Sunday, so obviously it's a funny vibe of obviously I'm next to a champagne bar, so half of the people are drunk anyways, but that's when you get the joy and like the cool comments, which kind of like gets you going. So yeah.
Excellent. I like it. And I was going to ask you next as the final question: is any news or any offers you'd like to share with the audience? Obviously, you just mentioned you'll be in Selfridges.
Yeah. So probably the newest thing, it's like those eco party bags that we have. Yes, correct. And there is chip forks coming out very shortly. So obviously, if any country, probably the UK is destined for edible chip forks with I think it's tomato flavor. But then otherwise, we're just obviously developing more variations of the what's it called, the party bags or / activity kits, and just pushing the certification. So I mean, I guess I've been neglecting the certification that we have, sustainability certification. So I guess more work there. And then, but then with me, I mean, we can have this call in 2 months. There'll be something new. So I mean, it's all very serendipitous. If someone sends me a product tomorrow that I like, it's available in the UK. We'll have it. We'll brand it as Stroodles. So, yeah.
Excellent. That's really interesting to find out about it, and looking forward to seeing some of the different products that come out in the future.
Thank you.
I've got the chocolate spoon stuck in my head just now, so.
Yeah, it's much more fun, and you can get some kids to eat even broccoli with a chocolate spoon suddenly.
Perfect. Yeah, I should get that for my son. That's sound of it.
Yeah,
Thanks very much for taking part, Max. It's been great to find out about you and the business.
Thank you.
Wishing you big success for the future.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much.